Let's turn our attention now to opportunities in wagering and gaming. And the Waterhouse VC team having just returned from 4 major global conferences. Tom Waterhouse, the founder of Waterhouse VC, joins us again now. Tom, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So you've been on the move, global travels.
Yep.
What have you been doing with these conferences?
Yeah, look, the team's been in Lisbon, and Las Vegas had G2E, which is a big conference there, and then in Georgia, and then also Cyprus. So it's been a big sort of 4 weeks. Then we had Melbourne Cup last week, and look, it's really a global industry. America's obviously opened up regulated online sports betting. Brazil's opened up. Eastern Europe, UK, Hong Kong's expanded. So the whole world, it's really a global industry, and you have to go to these places and find these. We basically focus on the tech providers, and trying to find these tech providers in Eastern Europe or in South America are really important, and then trying to expand them into other markets like the US, Hong Kong, Australia, and so on. But it was very interesting. Obviously, the big thing in the US is these prediction markets, Kalshi and Poly Market. They're now taking bets in California and Texas. They don't have the same state taxes as the large operators like FanDuel and DraftKings. So they're able to operate in a couple of markets, or many markets, that those large operators can't operate in, and they have the tax advantage. And they've obviously grown tremendously in value. So Poly Market was raising at $1 billion valuation earlier this year. They're now raising at 12 to 15. And you've seen the large cap like FanDuel, which is owned by Flutter. I think their share price off sort of 30+% in the last couple of months. So it's been it's a big thing. Obviously, this US market shake-up, an incredible market that you think the lay of the land's known, but this prediction market's really thrown everything up in the air.
What does that involve, the prediction market? I mean, you've mentioned a couple there, but can you actually? Is that betting on anything?
Yeah, so you think of it for an Australian terms like betting on Betfair. It's like an exchange product.
Yeah.
But in the US, it's classified as a financial product. So it comes under the financial licensing there, which means it's governed federally, and so it's allowed to operate in all states without having to pay the state tax. So, for instance, FanDuel, which is owned by Flutter, pays 52% gross profits tax in the state of New York. They can operate on offering sports bets and parlays without having to pay that state tax. And they can also operate in the states that don't allow sports betting, like a Texas or California. So they have some big advantages. Obviously, they don't have yet the same breadth of product and iGaming, which is approved in 7 or 8 states in the US, but they have a significant advantage, tax advantage, and also they can operate in states that the others can't.
You also mentioned there earlier, you focused in Latin America and Eastern Europe for opportunities. Why those locations?
Look, we've just done a deal with a US business in the last week, but generally we find that the US businesses can get funded very quickly. It's a great capital market, and we find a supplier in Eastern Europe or in Brazil, South America, they often are struggling to get funded more. It's harder for them to get funding, and also they don't know the lay of the land of the global gambling ecosystem. So if we can make an investment in them and also try and help them expand into new markets, maybe in the UK, Australia, or in Asia, there's tremendous growth if we get that deal right. So we've really focused in those areas, and we've come across some really interesting business. We've done 3 new option deals in the last week, so hopefully they come off.
Well, you keep us posted next time we catch up. Now, Tom, obviously you're about opportunities in wagering, particularly in the infrastructure side of the business.
Yep.
Locally, Canberra Racing and Sports, what have they done?
Oh yeah, so Racing and Sports, a listed company, RTH in Australia. We made an investment in them last year and have an option agreement with them, and we really like the business. It's been around quite a long time. Started by Gary Crisp, now run by Stephen Crisp, the CFO Tim Olive, very switched on guy also, and chaired now by Andrew Geoghegan, the ex-CEO of Betfair. We really like the business. They're a racing supply business. They supply data to the industry, to operators, and they've got an amazing data set which has been built over the last 30 plus years. And we really like them. We think racing is a really interesting product because it's built for betting. It's wall-to-wall engagement all around the world. And we think it's definitely an amazing filler product in markets that don't have iGaming, like the US as an example. Obviously, it's huge here in Australia. And they've done a very interesting deal in the last week. They did a deal with BetMGM in the UK to offer their racing managed service product in the UK. And that product is where they manage the full suite of racing, the data, the odds, but also the trading of it. And they take a percentage of the gross revenue. So we know they're a very skilled team, and we think very highly of them. And we think this deal's a very big deal with LeoVegas, and hopefully they do a great job for them. And it's a great revenue generating contract for the company, and hopefully it grows. The share price has had a great boost off the back of that deal in the last few weeks. So we're very excited for them.
Do you come across many infrastructure opportunities in wagering here in Australia?
So we've done two, the fund's been going 6.5 years, and we've done two deals, significant deals with Australian suppliers. But the majority of our deals, we've got about 19 live option deals at the moment, and they're generally all overseas. But Australia's an amazing place for betting. The largest betting syndicates of the world are from Australia. Many of the large operators came and cut their teeth here in Australia, and it's the largest gambling per capita in the world. Australia is definitely at the forefront of online gambling.